Hello everyone, so in this video we are going to compute and interpret the mean, median, and mode of ungrouped data. So by the way, what is a measure of central tendency? When you say measure of central tendency, that is the summary measure that describe a whole set of data with a single quantity that is represent the middle or center of its distribution, the way of which group of data that cluster around a central value. In short, this is the measure that tells where the center of a data set is located. So the most commonly used measures of central tendency are the mean, median, and mode. Okay, the mean for the ungrouped data, this is the most commonly used measure of central tendency. So when we speak of average, we always refer to the mean. So we can use this formula, okay, the summation of x over n. For example, 6 friends in a biology class of 20 students receives test grades of 92, 84, 65, 76, 88, and 90. Find the mean of these test scores. Okay, first, using the formula, so we're going to get the sum of their scores. 92 plus 88 plus 64 plus 76 plus 88 plus 90 over 6. Bakit 6? Because that is from 6 students. So, other scores, so that is 495. Then, 495 divided by 6, that is equal to 82.5. So, therefore, the mean test scores of the 6 students is 82.5. Another example for the mean, we have the ages of the 5 contestants in statistics quiz B are the following: 18, 17, 18, 19, and 18. Find their average age. So first, using the formula, we're going to add all the values or all the ages. Then divide the sum by 5. So because we have 5 contestants, so get the sum of your numerator, so that is 90 divided by 5, that is equal to 18. So therefore, the mean age of the contestant is 18. Median. So when you say the median is the midpoint of the data array. So before finding this value, the data must be arranged in order from least to greatest or vice versa. The median will either be a specific value or will fall between two values. So, but before that, so for example, you have a given data and the given data is odd numbers. So, pag odd numbers yung given, ibig sabihin meron kang isang middle data and that is the median. Pero kapag may, like for example, we have 5 datas here. So, the median here is the x sub 3. Pero kapag meron kang even na data, so ibig sabihin nun, meron kang dalawang middle value. So, ulitin ko lang, kapag may odd numbers yung given na data, ibig sabihin, meron lang isang gitna doon at yun yung median mo. Pero kapag meron kang even numbers, so meron kang dalawang middle value. So anong gagawin mo doon sa dalawang middle value? So add mo silang dalawa and then divided by 2. For example, 7 mothers were selected and given a blood pressure check. Their blood pressure were recorded below: 135, 121, 119, 116, 130, 121, and 131. So first, we need to find their median, we need to arrange the data in order. So bahala kayo if that is in ascending order or in descending order. So in this case, so I arrange the data in ascending order. So nag-start ako sa mababa pataas. So bilangin natin ngayon kung ilan yung data natin. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, 7 is an odd number. So, sabi ko kanina, kapag odd numbers, may isa ka lang dyang gitna. At ano yon? 121. So, therefore, 121 is the median on this problem. Next, another example for median. So, 8 novels were randomly selected and the numbers of pages were recorded as follows. So, we have 415, 398, 402, 400, 420, 415, 407, and 425. So first, same process nung ginawa kanina, we need to arrange the data in order. So bahala kayo if that is in descending order or in ascending order. So ang ginawa ko dito, inarrange ko siya in ascending order. So nag-start ako sa mababang number up to the highest value. So next, so bibilangin na natin ngayon kung ilan yung given na data. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So meron tayong even number na given data. So anong gagawin? Anong mangyayari dito? Meron tayong dalawang middle value. So ano yon? Yung 407 and 415. So ano yung gagawin natin sa dalawang middle value natin? So add natin silang dalawa divided by 2 and then yan yung median natin. So therefore, yung median dito is 411. Also, the last measure of central tendency is the mode. It is the value that occurs most often in the data set. So the number value observation in a data set which appears the most number of times. For example, find the mode of the given data set 15, 28, 25, 48, 22, 43, 39, 44, 43, 49, 34, 22, 33, 27, 25, 22, and 30. So, para mas mabilis natin ma-identify kung ano yung number na nag-appear more than once o mas maraming dyan sa given data set, i-arrange natin in order. So, arrange muna natin yung data set natin. It's either in ascending or descending order. So, ang ginawa ko again, in ascending order. So, para madali natin makita kung ano ba yung number na mas marami. So, in this case, so what do you think? So, what do you think the mode in this problem? Yes, that is 22. Bakit 22? Because that is the number that appeared the most number of times. So kaya 22 yung mode natin dyan. So, also, the data set is said to be unimodal. So, kapag may isa tayong mode, ang tawag natin doon unimodal. Another example, the speed of a 10 stenographer in typing per minute are as follows: 121, 110, 120, 119, 112, 121, 118, 115, 107, and 115. So, find the mode of the data set. So, first, we need to arrange the data in ascending or descending order. Next, determine the number of that appear the most number of times. So, in this given data set, so we have 2, 115 and 121. Parehas silang may tigdadalawa. So, therefore, the data set has two modes, and that is 115 and 121. So, the data set is said to be bimodal. So, kapag dalawa naman daw yung modes natin, we call that as bimodal. Another example, find the mode of the given data 2, 5, 8, 9, 11, 4, 7, and 23. So, pag in-arrange natin in ascending order, wala tayong makukuhang mode. So, therefore, there is no mode. We have the weighted mean. So, when you say the weighted mean, this is the number from x sub 1 to x sub n with the respective assigned weight. So, paano to ginagawa? Kadalasan ginagamit to kapag kinukompute natin yung grade natin. At especially in college. Kasi sa college may mga units yung bawat subject. So for example, we have, okay, we are going to use this formula to get the weighted mean, the summation of x times w over summation of w, where your summation of x times w is the sum of the products formed by multiplying each number by its assigned weight. So, and your denominator is the sum of all weights. So, for example, many colleges use the 4-point grading system. So, let's say, yung letter A, so sa ibang colleges kasi letters yung grade nila. So, yung A that is equal to 4 points, B equals to 3 points, C is equal to 2 points, D is equal to 1 point, and F is equal to 0. Find the grade point average of De Leon's grades in the given semester course grade. So here's the grade or the average grade of De Leon's in the 4 course. So we have sa English, ang grade niya is B, History A, Chemistry D, Algebra C. So ano ang gagawin natin? So by using the formula of weighted mean, so we can compute his general point average. So paano ginagawa? Since dito sa English niya, B yung grade niya and B is equivalent to 3, so ita-times natin sa number of units ng subject. So 3 times 4 plus sa history A, so ang A natin that is 4 points. So 4 times 3, yung 3 is the number of units ng history. And also, chemistry, we have D. So, ang D natin is 1, kaya 1 times 3 plus, and then yung algebra is C, and that is 2 points times 4, divided by 14. So, ang 14 nito is the number of units. Okay, so, get the product of this of your numerator, so that is 35, product of it, and then add. So, that is 35 divided by 14. So, the answer is 2.5. So, therefore, De Leon's GPA for the given semester is 2.5. Approximately, that is B. Okay? A frequency distribution, which is a table that lists observed events and the frequency occurrence of each observed event, is often used to organize raw data. So, you can use frequency distribution kapag sobrang dami yung given data set. Like for example, lagpas na ng 50 or umaabot na ng 100 given data set. So, kung i-arrange mo yan by ascending order, sobrang haba yung gagawin mo. So, this is another way na ma-organize mo yung data set. So, for example, you conduct a survey. Then, tinanong mo yung number of computers per household from the 40 households. So, ito yung response nila. So, we're going to find the mean of the data set. So, para makuha natin yan, so anong gagawin natin? We need to use the frequency distribution wherein we can present the data set into tables. So, arrange natin into 2 columns. So, yung first column natin, that is the number of computers na meron yung bawat household. And yung second columns natin, that is the number of households. So, for example, so yung number of computers is from 0 to 7. So, anong ibig sabihin nito? So, merong 5 household out of 40 na walang computer. So, merong 12 na households na may tig-isang computer. At merong 14 households na meron tig-dalawang computer. So, ganyan natin present. So, this is out of 40 household. So, paano natin gawin? Okay, you can use the weighted mean. So, paano ginagawa? Multiply lang natin yung x times f. So, 0 times 5 plus 1 times 12 plus 2 times 14. Mumultiply natin yan and add. Divided by 40 because we have 40 household. So, after that, so that is 79 divided by 40. So, the answer is 1.975. Or, that is also already 2. Kasi hindi naman natin pwedeng sabihin na 1.975 computer. Walang ganon, no? Kasi binibilang natin as whole number yung number of computer. So, kapag may decimal, ano yon? Anong parts ng computer lang yon? So, therefore, the mean number of computers per household is 2. I hope you learned something from my
Thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button para updated kayo for more video tutorial. This is your guide in learning your math lesson, your Wow Math channel.